means victim's guaranteed qualification, according to what I've written. That's a term I made up. A victim of racism can say anything, or is qualified to say anything that he or she chooses to say about his or her victimization. So if a person wants to ask for an apology, they can do that. I don't. And I have put in the textbook for victims of racism the recommendation that you never ask anybody for an apology, white or non-white, ever. You never, under any circumstance, ask anybody to apologize. There's three things you don't ask for, according to the compensatory counter-racist code. These suggestions I have made in the textbook. You don't ask for an apology, you don't ask for love, and you don't ask for respect. Those are three things that you, in my opinion, it's strictly a suggestion, never, ever ask anybody to apologize for anything. Never, ever ask anybody to give you some love. Never. And never, ever, ever ask anybody to give you respect. Now, why do I say that? Because I should have reasons. Everything in counter-racist science, you should give a reason for it. Otherwise, it's not scientific. Just saying something as a suggestion without a scientific basis. Scientific means cause and effect. Doesn't mean anything. It shouldn't mean anything. If you're not explaining what you mean, it's meaningless. So why is it you shouldn't ask for an apology? Because logically speaking, apologies should be given to white supremacists at some point, because they are very smart in what they do, the smartest people in the world, according to their record and according to all the evidence. The white supremacists will say, what we'll do, we will act like an apology is something really special. And we will teach our victims that an apology is something really special. So they will walk around all their lives agonizing over not having received an apology, quote unquote. And we'll make an apology precious, like it's some type of diamond, like it's gold, like it's more precious than a house or education. An apology, more precious than money. An apology, yes, like we are hoarding apologies, warehouses full of apologies, and won't give them any. So they'll think that an apology is a big deal. Our victims would think that. So we will withhold apologies. We'll be real stingy with apologies. And so therefore they'll think an apology has a whole lot of value. So when we finally say, okay, we're going to give you an apology, they will think they got something. That's a trick, folks. That's a con game. That's why I say you never ask for an apology. Why? It's not worth anything. That's why. The white supremacists at one point will say, okay, for 200, 300, 2,000 years, whatever, you've been asking for an apology. All right. We're going to open up the warehouse gates and you just go in and grab all of the apologies you want. We're going to have a date set aside. This is apology date. And all you black people can drop what you're doing and come down and receive your apology. We'll have them all, apologies in different, we'll have them in apologies written in pink ink, green ink. What about gold ink? Yeah, y'all like gold or green. I mean, like some money is green, whatnot. It'll be like money. So we'll have warehouses full of, hey, how many apologies do you want? You want 5 or 10? Hey, just take 1,000. I mean, I got a box full of them here. Now, you go down the road with all these white apologies in your black hands, and you should feel great. Think about that. What is an apology really worth? And so love is also, like apologies, something that you give. Like on this program, I have said, you don't ask anybody for love. And I've given an illustration. Back in the 1930s or 40s, there was a song. I've mentioned it on this program. I told you that I loved you, now get out. So anybody can say, hey, yeah, I love you. I love all you black people. Now get back in that ditch. Tote that barge. Lift that bale. All right? But I'm doing it with love. Remember, I love you now. You're still a slave, but you have my love. And that should give you more incentive to dig that ditch a little deeper, to get up early in the morning. Because now you love to dig ditches because you're getting love from me. And I'm giving it to you. I've been holding back on it, but now I'm giving it to you. You now have my love. You have it, you have it, you have it. But just continue to do what I say do. And you'll even have more. See, so apologies and declarations of apologies and declarations of love in the system of white supremacy should mean, according to logic, absolutely nothing. Now, because even when you get it, when you have to ask for it, I mean, it doesn't mean anything anyway. Of course, it doesn't mean anything even if you didn't ask for it. Mm-hmm. Now, this thing called respect, you can only give that to yourself. Now, that's something that black people kill each other about all the time. You gonna respect me or I'm gonna shoot you. Well, what is respect? Respect is, according to the code, refusing to lie to yourself. Mm-hmm. And letting everybody know that you will not lie to yourself. Now, in the system of white supremacy, if you're black, you're forced to tell lies. You really are. You're a prisoner of war. So a prisoner of war is forced to tell lies in order to just save themselves from more punishment. You're forced to say that you are free when you're really not. You're forced. That's a lie. You're not free. Yeah. You're in the system of white supremacy, the most uptight system ever invented in the minds of people. So you say, I'm a free person, but you're required to say that. So you're forced to lie. But that doesn't say you don't have respect. Respect is something you give to yourself. There's no other source for respect other than yourself.
Yes, sir.
Nobody can give you respect.